Hi again guys, I'm back for another video. In my last video, as promised, I was waiting until RC4 to start again. RC4 has hit, that's release candidate 4. In release candidate 3 and 4 they made some minor changes, the most notable of which though is that Prodigy's now come a little bit sooner. And I've decided I'm going to do a Corruptor in this video. Cornac Corruptor, I've gotten badgered a little bit to do one on the channel. I've been meaning to play one. I've never really gotten serious about a Corruptor character before. I think the furthest I've gotten is like halfway through the Tier 2 dungeons. They're a blight damage-based nuking class. They do a lot of damage. They have some really hard-hitting spells and are pretty strong in terms of how much life they have, but they don't have any real defensive trees. So we'll see how this plays out in the long term. I was going to do a ghoul, but my initial run as a ghoul didn't really go too well, so I decided to backpedal on that a bit, and I like having that category point right off the start so we can get Willful Tormentor to up our Vim a little bit, because I kind of rely on crutches like that. I keep hearing people say, oh, you don't need Willful Tormentor. No, I need Willful Tormentor. And I'm going to use a custom tile just because. Every once in a while I got to remind myself that I have rewards for donating. So the Corruptor abilities, the primary abilities we have are Soul Rot, Drain, and Blood Spray. Drain restores our Vim, which is a unique resource to Corruptors and Reavers, anything within the Deviler subclass. Blood Spray is an AoE that applies diseases, and Soul Rot is a just plain old Blight Bolt spell that does has a higher chance to crit. I don't think they get any beams. They don't really need beams because of how good Blight Spray is at just wearing down big packs of enemies. The diseases it applies tick pretty hard, and the main burst effect from the Blood Spray does a lot of damage. So they don't seem to really need it that much. Willful Tormentor is a free sustain that raises our Vim total at the cost of generic talent points, which we'll have in great abundance. Get that Blood Spray max as quickly as possible. Pretty easy to rip through these big packs of enemies. The Corruptors seem to do a lot of damage. They have some really powerful nukes. Starting with a really good AoE like that is incredibly helpful. It's very hard to get mobbed in the starting area, and I don't see anyone having any particular amount of trouble playing these. The unlock for Corruptors is interesting. You have to play an arcane casting character and do this Mark of the Spellblaze dungeon, and at the end, after you beat the Corruptor, you get the opportunity to side with him and wipe out the anti-magic in the town of Ziggur. It's a neat little quest, and it's pretty hard to complete. Okay, we're going to take Celestial Light, just because it's a really good tree to have. It'll be a while before we can actually afford to spend a category point to buy it. But I mean, Providence alone is totally worth it. hold on to that generic point to next level so we can get some prerequisites. And it looks like we've woken up procs. It wasn't too hard. Did hit us a bit hard. There really isn't any good way to get out of melee as a Corruptor because you don't have conveyance like Necromancers have or any of the other nice teleport trees. I think you just sort of have to rely on blistering DPS to take care of everything. Like, you don't talent for a whole lot of abilities that give you big defensive boosts. You get offensive defensive abilities like the Corruptions and the Hexes and things like that. I really like this armor, and there's no reason not to use heavy armor as a Corruptor. It'll be a while before we can equip this, if ever, but I'm going to hold on to it. And we also found the Wintertide file. I'll hold on to that as well. I don't know if we're going to be in any shape to take out Bill, and I don't feel like taking the risk right now, so we will come back to here after we've had time to clear some of the other dungeons. We've unlocked a new ability called Blood Grasp. It is another bolt ability. It does quite a bit of blight damage and heals you for half the damage it does. So we have at least one way to regain our HP. We'll put that down here and rearrange our bar a little bit. I really like Burning Hex, which is one of the new abilities we just unlocked. You've seen it before in some of my previous videos. Whenever I fight dreads, it's an ability they put on you. It raises the cooldowns of your abilities when you cast them, and it does damage when you use any type of resource. It's an AoE effect. It lasts a very long time. It's expensive to cast, but definitely worthwhile. Another interesting change they made with, I think RC4 made this change. The first 2 dungeons you do now count as your Escort dungeons. So you're not bound to do Core Pool. You can get away with skipping it. So if you prefer to do what I do, which is Norgos and Trollmire, you can do Norgos and Trollmire. You just have a ton of damage as a Corruptor. You just never seem to really run out of things to cast. I like that. Pretty easy to run out of resources. Vim is kind of hard to recover. You get it back when you kill things and when you cast Drain on something, and Drain isn't exactly the highest damage nuke I have. Even maxed, I think its damage is actually pretty pitiful. Okay, a Seer. This is perfect. Seer is one of those escorts that's kind of going to be a must-have for a Corruptor, I would think. Corruptors don't use mana, so there's no reason not to run every huge sustain you pick up in an escort, and sustain, or in the premonition sustain off Seers is no exception. Since magic is your main stat as a Corruptor, you'll be able to scale that premonition up pretty high really easily. Okay, and we'll just take premonition there. And that is a nice 13% damage reduction to elemental abilities, and that'll just scale up as we continue to raise our magic score. If we can find another Seer as we go along, it'd be nice to get an extra point in that. I don't think premonition's actually worth taking the talent tree or spending a category point for, but if you can get it for free, it's definitely a great ability. One of the best escorts rewards you can get. I haven't been accidentally leveling willpower, have I? That would be embarrassing. Got another point in Willful Tormentor there. Well, yeah. And let's see, I got one class point to spend. Put that into Soul Rot. I really like how hard that hits and with the extremely high chance it has to crit. Just a nice ability to have overall. Get Norgos and that little blight there, and we'll put Burning Hex on him too, just to punish him if he uses his stun or anything here. That wasn't too bad. The Tooth is pretty nice, the Tooth of the Maw, because it does blight damage. Excuse me, it increases blight damage. Not by a whole lot, and we're obviously going to want to replace it as soon as we get something a little more caster-oriented, but it's pretty nice for the interim. It used to be one of the better items you could get in the game, but with how many better recent items have been added in and how good rare items are now, it's kind of just middle of the road. Like the powerhouse used forever items of yesteryear just aren't as brilliant and amazing as they once were, just because power creep has made everything recent very, very, very powerful. Nothing here we're going to want. And we'll knock out Heart of the Gloom since we're right here. A little more irritating with these closed corridors. It's hard to AoE multiple things at once. And I really hate the pin in Heart of the Gloom. I say that every time I come in here, but I really hate this dungeon. I like how small it is. That's a plus. You spend about half as long on each floor here as you do in every other starting dungeon, but doesn't make that pin any more fun to deal with. We leveled up a couple more times. Keep leveling up that Soul Rot till we get it maxed. I'm going to do the same thing with Drain before I proceed in any of these later talents. Oh, that blighted soil is nasty. Killed him with diseases. That was nice. We got Varg Redemption, which is a very nice ring. It's not great for us since it doesn't have Vim on it, but Constitution's a good stat. Even if it's not the best item for us, I'd be thrilled to find it on any other character. Ooh, that's a big chunk of enemies. And that was really satisfying. Just clear a whole room in one cast. Usually you have to wait a few levels to do that, but Corruptors seem to be able to do it right out of the gate, which I appreciate. This character's really trucking along pretty quickly here. We'll give him something later on. I don't know if I want to give my Wintertide file away quite yet. I'm sure we'll find a different arcane artifact in here. But I'd like to get into Anglewin sooner rather than later. Oh boy. Oh, I thought I was locked in there. I mean, I have a digger and everything. It just would have been kind of irritating. Oh, ow. What the hell? And get that use effect on the ring just to hedge him out a bit and pick him off. I didn't even realize how close he'd gotten to me. Oh. These guys are nasty. We'll use that dark staff here. Course Fall is a pretty decent staff. Starts with blight damage on it. Well, darkness damage, but it's a vile staff, so it boosts blight damage. Doesn't matter what the melee damage of the staff is, really. Since we're not planning on hitting anything with it. Like, if I'm meleeing something as a caster, it's either because I just got terminally lazy, or because I really, really screwed up. I love this method of dealing with enemies. Just spray a bunch of AoE into the boss's room and then wait till the achievement pops up. That's how I beat Baldur's Gate 2 the first time. Just cast a bunch of delayed blast fireballs into the boss room and then waited for the end credits to roll. They ended up fixing that eventually. But man, was that funny while it worked. Oh, ouch. Did I kill this Bubble Blaze Crystal? I don't think so. I didn't see any loot drops. I know I did a lot of damage to it. I think something else like jumped in front of the Spell Blaze Crystal point break style. There we go. And we got a Blood of Life. Excellent. I'm going to use that right away. And we'll use this Regeneration Infusion to replace the crappy one that we've got. Nothing else really spectacular, eye-opening here. Oh, ow. I love that blood spray. It's just such a nice AoE. Cone AoEs scale, like, the longer they get, the more ridiculously wide their radius gets. And you can eventually get to the point where you can pick up whole rooms with just a cone AoE. Ow, why am I lagging so bad? I don't know what that golem was doing, but that was obnoxious. Usually I only get lagged that bad when I'm about to die. I like to think of a pre-lag or a pre-death lag spike as the game just trying to process how badly you just got your ass handed to you. It's like, oh yeah, they just did 25,000 damage in 2 rounds. It's a bit of an exaggeration there, but that's not the point. People in the game's control room just high-fiving each other. We beat the record. There's no way he expected that to happen. "13 enemies casting spells all at once? Nobody should have survived that." Even core pool turned out to be pretty easy. Did I accidentally? Yes, I did. I accidentally equipped the staff. Alright, I've maxed my primary spells, and I'm going to start working on Blood Grasp. I'm going to max that next. Just get one more really high damage bolt before I move on to things that are a little more advanced. I'm going to use that to trade for entry into Angle as soon as we get out of here. Now that we've learned the truth about mages, let's get in here and see what we can find for a staff. Hopefully something nice in Tier 3. And here's my character's doppelganger, because I used the same custom tile it's using. Alright. Looks like all we have is Ash and U. I think Ash is Tier 2. Oh, wait, no, U is Tier 3. Wow. Okay. So, we have Blighted of Might. Shimmering of Blasting. We'll go with the Blighted, because that's... Well... What does that each one do, though? The Blighted, like, does it give it Vim? Oh, yeah, it gives max Vim. Vim when firing a critical spell. That's pretty nice. I'll probably end up buying that. But let me just make sure I'm not going to miss out on anything else. I think that's going to be the best possible stuff we're going to get for a long time. It's 185. I should be able to afford that. Yep. Okay. Take a look at the other shops real quick. Steel Ring of Frost. Ring of Perseverance. Wow, a heroism infusion this early is pretty surprising, but then again, yeah, the shops are fixed at a higher level now, aren't they? Keep forgetting. And typically no good shielding runes. Thankfully I'm not going to be slavishly reliant on those because I'm not playing an undead character. Use that teleportation rune and place their shittier regen rune. Put that right down there. And now we'll go on and do the arena. Oh, ow. Oh, that was pretty easy. Those guys always go down really fast to casters, though. They just seem to melt. I don't know what to spend that category point on. I could buy Celestial Light, and that would give me a heal, get Barrier. Providence would come pretty late. Or I could get Corruption, Shadow Flame, but I'm not really spending my class points on anything else right now. I'll hold on to the category point for now. I'm not in any rush. I don't seem to be having issues with health regeneration or incoming damage or not having enough variety of buttons to press. The hidden tunnels can be a bit dangerous for this character like it can for any caster, but we have so much AoE damage, I don't really think it's going to be an issue. Oh, ow. I say as I nearly get killed. Should just rename my YouTube channel to 24/7 Hubris and I think that would be much more reflective of how most of these go. Oh yeah, there's gonna be cake! Oh, I don't see any difficulty I could possibly experience here. And then I just get my ass handed to me over and over again. Shit. I keep getting blinded. I think there's like an archer. What an annoying enemy. Okay. That one wasn't too bad. Crystalline dagger. Not anything that's going to be particularly useful to us, but it's an interesting thing to find nonetheless. I don't want to hit the merchant, so yeah, that should be good. Oh, there's the Assassin Lord. Put Burning Hex on you, and then just nuke you down. Oh, he's a hard-hitting guy. Oh, killed him. He died right in place, probably from disease damage. What do we find here? Spiked reinforced armor avail. It'd be pretty nice if we could actually equip it, but I don't think we can get our strength that high. Would definitely be better than wearing a plain linen robe. I think I'll just buy something from Last Hope, though. Which, speaking of, let's go to Last Hope. Took a little more damage in the Assassin Lord's tunnels than I would have liked. While I'm here, I can get the Armor Mastery talent tree. And start putting points into that eventually, but... Curse of Vulnerability, now we got it. It is a curse that reduces resistances on your target by X% for X turns. We will probably end up maxing that. It also scales with our spell power. That'll be useful later on when we start running into things that got a lot of blight immunity, like worms that walk. Wow, only one robe in that entire shop. That's ridiculous. There's even a robe on the door. Are you kidding me? Yeah, we sell robes. Now look at our 8 belts. What do we find here? And our special shop doesn't have shit in it either. Wow. Just garbage all around. That sucks. Serpentine cloak. Even that's not good. At least not for us. Ah, it just pisses me off. Oh, not even any regen runes. This is some really bad shop luck is what this is. We're going to have to find pretty much everything we use from here on out because I don't think we're going to find a whole lot else. Well, just to see how we do. I think I'll do Old Forest first. Maze is a little too tight quarters. And until we got a little more health on us, I kind of want to stay away from our enemies. Oh no, there's an ant and a bee. I better run across the other side of the map. What is she hiding from now? Was it this one snake down here that she couldn't have possibly seen? No. There's gotta be something. Oh, no, it was this honey tree. Yep. She was afraid of the stationary tree. So clearly that was a reason to hide in a corner. We'll just take that magic boost. I don't think we have any real use for the chronomancer abilities. But I always like to have that +2 magic. And we found a good regen rune. Wait, have I not killed Billy yet? No, I haven't now that I think about it. I need to go back and do that as soon as I get done with this Old Forest clear. Hold off on Lake of Nur just because there's such a high potential to run into things that are blight immune in the dungeon there, so. Oh my god, that's a lot of snakes. Well, not a lot of snakes anymore. Now a minimal amount of snakes. Oh. Kind of walked right into that there. Okay, I had to put it on pause for a second there. Sorry about that. It's a long corridor. Fuck. This map just seems to have, like, I know Old Forest will often have big packs of enemies like this, but I don't know if I've ever seen them in just this quantity, this many rooms just packed full of enemies like this. We've run into a room full of ants, a room full of wolves, a room full of snakes. Not that I'm complaining, that those rooms are always worth a ton of experience. There we go. Now we got Blood Grasp maxed out. Let's see what we can level up next. Ooh, Vim Sense reduces blight resistance of nearby enemies. We've got Blood Boil, which is another AoE ability. A slow and 79.95 blight damage. Blood Fury increases spell crit chance by 4% each time your spells go critical. You enter Blood Rage. Ooh, that's really nice. We're going to max that one next. We'll just keep sinking points to Curse of Vulnerability until we get that maxed out. It's not something we're going to use particularly often, but in fact, I'm going to swap that with Burning Hex, because I'm probably going to be more likely to cast that. Okay, what's his blight resistance at by default? I don't think he's got much. He does have that 6% all though, so let's see. Does that give him negative resistance? Negative 11 all, so it does give him negative resistances. I didn't even know you could do that. Oh, that was terribly easy. I don't know if that heavy torque is even worth using. Telekinetic Core. Ups our physical resistance and our physical save, and those are the only things on it that are useful at all to us. It's actually worse for us than the Tooth of the Mouth, which is kind of weird and embarrassing. It's great on every other character, but it's just completely useless on this one. Oh, that cooldown on that regen rune isn't worth it. 18 turn cooldown, indeed. I could probably handle Lake of Nur, but I'm going to hold off on that. I've lost too many characters, too. I could probably handle Lake of Nur right now. I'm going to go back and kill Bill. I feel like he's lonely now because I've left him alone there. I didn't kill him, so now he's just going to sit there being all sad, sacking in his little cubby. I don't think that scales up past level 10 anyway, so it'll be pretty easy to curb stomp him. Just go in there and what is that? Soul rot him for his entire health bar. Oh, I got an anti-magic patrol. What? Silenced? What is this shit? Anti-magic. Nice to be the Corruptor ambushing adventurer parties and not the adventurer getting ambushed by Corruptors. I hate Corruptors and adventurer parties. Jesus Christ. That is not a good time. Yeah, sure enough, minus 33% all resists. That's funny. There's a crystal focus laying there in his little room. That's nice. Now level 5. Start buying our way to that. In fact, actually, we can put our first point into it right now. And since we have since we have so much Vim, we can even start sustaining it right away, which is nice. I don't think we'll ever need Bloodlock, so I'm just going to take that off my bar. I'm not putting points into Overkill right now, so take that off my bar. Take off Varg Redemption, Curse of Death. I'm going to take most of these things off my bar and then rearrange everything else. Like, how often do I need to use Command Staff? I mean, really. There we go. Now we should be good to do the maze. Level 15, we got a lot of damage with all of our nukes. We have multiple abilities that have been maxed out now. I am not really worried about what we're going to find here on the first floor anyway. Still going to have to be careful, but... Anti-magic. Can't use that. Let's take a look at the Skin of Many. I think we can equip that. Okay, not quite, so we don't have 16 strength. I'll move it to my normal inventory, hold on to it though. Not great, but certainly better than nothing, and what we have on right now is pretty close to nothing. So I can't believe there wasn't one single worthwhile robe in the entirety of Last Hope. The robe shop that sells one fucking robe. I mean, really? It's a Mindslayer robe. Mindslayers don't even wear robes. This is for solipsists too, but... And Doomed and Summoners. But who cares? Fuck those guys. Put Burning Hex on all these guys. We've nearly cleared the level. This little last alcove up here. And yeah, as I thought, this isn't super hard. We are taking a bit of damage if we get hit in melee, but everything's dying so fast it doesn't really matter as much. Can't take as many risks as we took with a Necromancer, but we have less reason to since we're pretty much always ready with a nuke. I mean, once we cycle through all 5, there's like a 1-turn cooldown before they all come back off cooldown again, so... And here is the Minotaur of the Labyrinth. We'll put that curse on him right away. And did he resist it? Yes, he did. He didn't resist Burning Hex, though. Oh my god. Wow. We are hella dead. There is no way I'm getting out of this one. Yep. He pinned us. I didn't even know he could fucking pin. The hell, man? Yeah, and now he doesn't do any damage at all, and he doesn't pin us, and he dies instantly. That's usually how it works for me. I get some bizarre off-the-wall death that doesn't make any sense at all, and then all of a sudden everything's fine. And we get a boss gelatinous cube in this chest here, and what has he got? Deadly poison, call shadows. Oh fuck, this is gonna suck. Let's see, burning hex on him. Oh, ouch. Curse of vulnerability. Actually, he's not doing a whole lot of damage. I think his willpower must be low or something. There we go. Jewel encrusted Elvenwood Star Staff. What do we get? What is that? Temporal, bonus temporal damage. Nice. Oh wait, no, I see. It's because it's command staff. Reject damage in a cone from staff. Why is this in a Randart? There's almost nothing on it. Damage against elementals increased? Really? Maximum stamina. Who is this for? What a terrible weapon. I guess I might use it because it's got 10% more blight damage on it after I use command staff, but what an awful, awful item. Oh, I used the wrong... Here. Vile blight. Yeah, 29% blight, but that's really it. It doesn't have a whole lot of anything else on it. It's still better than what we had, but only marginally so. God, what a disappointing artifact. What do we find here in this chest? Found some kind of staff. Ash Mage Staff Tier 2. I gotta remember that the Minotaur is kind of just a caster killer and maybe start saving him for maybe after the Sandworm Queen in the future. I don't know. Be more cautious. Not used to playing casters enough to really have an effective strategy to deal with them yet. Hold on to that fire resistance ring there. And physical resistance can never hurt to have extra of. I don't think I want anything else from here, though. Letta's Diadem. What a crappy frickin' helmet to get. Woolen Robe of Stability, I guess, is technically better than what I have equipped. Only in the loosest of sense, but crappy helmet. Anything with strength on it? Galon, +4 strength, but arcane disrupting, of course. Alright. Let's spend our points before I forget to do it in the next video. Had that one off at the pass. Alright, so now that we've gotten through the couple of Tier 2 dungeons and all the Tier 1 dungeons and had our little introduction to Corruptor, we're level 16. We've got 2 more Tier 2 dungeons to go and then some bonus dungeons on the side, and then we'll do Dreadfell. And we'll probably get started on Dreadfell in the next video. I don't know if we'll manage to clear it, probably not. Dreadfell is kind of an undertaking. That last life that we lost was kind of unfortunate, but again, I think I just need a better strategy for dealing with a Minotaur as a caster character. I just don't play them enough. Anyway, thanks for watching. Keep tuned. I'm going to keep these videos coming. I don't know what my release schedule is going to be, but now that we're on a stable version, I actually have some incentive to put them out. Just a reminder, guys, if you haven't voted for Steam or for ToME on Steam Greenlight, please do so. I will try and include a link with the video. Thanks for watching.